One thing I hear all the time is that Christians are so close-minded. They only believe in one way to go to heaven. How about all the Buddhists, Muslims, Hindus, agnostics, and atheists? To think that only Christians can go to heaven is so intolerant. There should be multiple ways to get to heaven, right? So on this video, we will discuss the question, is there only one way to get to heaven? And the short answer is yes, but I didn't say it, Jesus did. John 14:6, Jesus said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. And the passage specifically states that Jesus is the only way a person can get to God the Father who is in heaven. And a lot of people have a problem with this. Why can't God allow people of all kinds of beliefs into heaven? That's so close-minded, and if anything, it's unloving. If God really loved all people the way he says he does, he'd allow all people into heaven. Now this can be a hard question for Christians to answer, so we will address this question in illustration time. Now let's say you're flying on a plane traveling out of the country. You're all excited to travel, you got your books, your tablets, your go-to Disney movies, and right after you take that selfie, you decide to take a quick nap. And so you're sleeping, but all of a sudden this abrupt shaking wakes you up. The attendants are walking quickly back and forth telling people to calm down and to stay in their seats, and the air masks fall from the ceiling and people are starting to panic, and the captain starts explaining on the intercom that the plane has received heavy damage due to an unexpected storm and that they need to have an emergency landing. The attendants give instructions on the emergency protocols and then they take their seats. Holding your seat tight, the plane makes its violent landing. Pretty soon you start smelling smoke, and you're soon notified that fires have broke out on multiple places in the plane. The captain comes out of the cockpit and yells to the passengers, everyone, please stay calm and use the exit next to the left wing of the plane. That is the only safe exit. Now looking at this scenario, is the captain unloving for telling the passengers that they can only use one exit? I mean, there's other exits too, right? Why can't they use the front or back exit, or the exit next to the right wing of the plane? Well, that's because the captain knows which exit is the safe exit. If any other exit could lead to safety, he would have told the passengers. He wouldn't be unloving for only giving us one option. If anything, giving us the way out is the most loving thing he could do. And this is exactly what Jesus said in the passage. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. He didn't say, I am one way, one truth, or one life. He said, I am the one and only way, the way. There are no other ways to get to heaven. People can say God is unloving for being so close-minded, but in reality, Jesus is absolutely loving because he made a way for all of us to have eternal life after we die, and that's through his death on the cross for all the wrong things that we've done. So if Jesus said he's the only way to heaven, there's only two options. He's either right or he's wrong. And if you think he's wrong, that's fine, but make sure you have good reasons to believe why he's wrong, and make sure you look at Jesus' arguments on why he's right. Jesus says there is a heaven and a hell, and he also says that there won't be many people who make it into heaven. Matthew chapter 7, verses 13 to 14, and it reads, enter by the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and there are many who go in by it. Because narrow is the gate and difficult is the way which leads to life, and there are few who find it. So to wrap everything up, is there only one way to heaven? And the answer is yes, through Jesus Christ. And he's not unloving or closed-minded because he said there's only one way. He's absolutely loving because he's letting us know that there is a sure way to have life after death. Romans chapter 5, verses 8 and 9. But God demonstrates his own love toward us, in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Much more then, having now been justified by his blood, we shall be saved from wrath through